A follower sent me a post with Dr. Umar Johnson talking about the black church and how the black church does not want black women to get married. And I'd like to have a conversation about that. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist. In this post, Dr. Umar talks about how, again, the black church doesn't want black women to get married because the pastor wants to be the only man in their life, and the women are the ones who are financially backing the church. As someone who grew up, in a religious home, very spiritual home, and grew up in the church and has been to several churches, I have to concur with Dr. Umar on this. And this is something that I have seen and witnessed myself. And it's ultimately something that has led to me not attending church anymore. And this is just, my personal opinion. I'm not sure when the shift came, but there was certainly a shift that came about because I've certainly been to churches that move you spiritually and welcome everyone, come as you are, churches that have done community service work. But there has been a shift to the church environment being more demanding of black women. They want all of your time, they want all of your attention, and they want all of your funding. It has gotten to the point now where there are several churches that want to see your bank statements and how much income you make because they want to make sure that they are getting 20% of your earnings in tithes and offerings. And there's been a progression of stepping away from community service work and community offerings and just churches hoarding the resources and money to themselves. Even if you were a member, it used to be a time where if you were down on your luck, you were down and out destitute. If you were a member of a church, you can call that church and say, hey, I'm having a hard time, and the church would financially help you. No longer is that a reality in a lot of churches. I won't say all of them, but I will say by and large, a number of black churches that I have attended no longer do that, and they don't care. They want what's owed to them. Not only that, but there used to be a thing where there would be like dating socials and things like that. I don't see that happening anymore. And here's a story, just as an aside. I'll share my own personal experience, and I'll share with you the last time I went to church. I could not believe my ears and what was happening. I actually got upset with the person who took me. She's like, oh, come to my church. And I actually got a little bit upset with her because as someone who grew up religious, I'm very protective of that. And, so when I go to church, I expect church to be respectful and protective of that. It's not something I do all the time. But the last time I went to church, the pastor, he got up there and and just trigger warning for anybody who's listening. He got up there and he says, many women in the church have come to me and asked me to, basically do like a single thing or hook them up with people that they know, like introduce them to single men in the congregation, or have something where singles can meet each other. And he says, I'm not doing that anymore, because the first time that woman has an orgasm, she forgets all about the church. She's like, F church, forget all that. And she's just fixated on that man. And I'm just not going to do that anymore. And this, I swear to you, this is what he said. And I got up and I walked up out of there, and I just could not believe what I was hearing. But he was pretty much laying it out right, what Dr. Umar had said, that like he was angry that women in the congregation wanted to date and meet someone, and that were, having relationships. And he felt like you need to be dedicated to the church, your blood, sweat, and tears. And if you are not dedicated to me, That is a betrayal to me, the pastor of the church. Essentially, when it comes to church, women's bodies matter because you need to be financially devoted to the church, sexually devoted. Your body, your blood, sweat, and tears, everything that you have needs to be devoted to the church. Pastors are becoming mean, insecure, and even vengeful when there's other things that take your attention away from them. I also could not believe that people um, sat there and continued to support that, that they did not like walk up out of that church. And I'm like, okay, this is enough. My spiritual worship needs to be on my own, because this is interesting that they want this complete ownership over women and devotion to women. But if you look at how the church moves, there's, if you've gone to any church long enough, you know that there's a lot of action going on in there, but the demands are made for women to have complete devotion, or they're cast out, or there's a stone that is thrown to that. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, share, and follow. Thanks so much.